how to actually get rich with an AI lead generation agency. And the reason why I'm making this video is there is so much noise out there when it comes to AI lead generation. People telling you to build the fanciest automations, and you've spent months and months on NAN, but really your bank account isn't increasing. So I thought I'd break down absolutely everything that you need to know so clients start to care about your service and your offer, and you can start getting that time, location, financial freedom. So let's get straight into it, right? Most people stay stuck at 2K a month. So even if you're watching this video right now and you haven't started an AI lead generation agency yet, you're gonna find this super useful because this is gonna save you 6 months. Or if you're watching this video and you're currently stuck at 2K a month, then again, you're gonna find this absolutely gold. So the reason why most people fail to get this off the ground is because they focus on generic AI automation offers. For example, AI chatbot setup. One of the most common offers at the moment is offering a chatbot to, let's say, real estate brokers so that it can handle the inquiries. And whilst this is quite interesting, it is super oversaturated and it doesn't focus on revenue generation. And again, there are so many other examples of this. For example, email inbox automations, AI workflow automations, Zapier automations, CRM automations, copy prompts, you name it, I've seen it. But one thing I'll tell you guys is all of these things are incredibly useful, but it's not a selling point to our clients. They don't care about it, especially local businesses. So if you are targeting local businesses and you're talking to them about the fanciest CRM automation, they only care about generating revenue. So it's really important that you understand that so that you can start to generate some revenue for them and for yourself. So let's actually have a look at this. Every single one of these cap earning potential because you're selling tasks over outcomes, which is not what we actually want to do. I'm going to be talking about how you can sell the destination and not the travel. That is a term that I always talk about in my videos because these businesses are way more interested in how they can take their business to the next level rather than a fancy inbox automation. And I know that is harsh to some of you guys that have spent months doing it, but it's true, okay? Now, the client really doesn't care about AI too much. Yes, they might be interested in AI because it's going to automate aspects of their business, but that is not a main focal selling point when you first start. What they care about is predictable pipeline. They care about booked calls. They care about quotes. They care about revenue, and they care about how much they sell, the cash they are going to make. Now, if you are selling tech, you're basically focusing on a generic offer, which you don't want to do. We need to sell transformation. So a prime example of this is a repeatable system that we can sell. So it's got to be something that generates revenue, and it's got to be something that is predictable and scalable. For example, Meta Ads as an inbound system, and we're using AI on the back end to nurture the leads as they come through the funnel. So again, we can still implement AI, we can still take the weight off that local business, but we're also helping them actually generate the leads that they need so that we can make them money. This is a key aspect of business. You're then going to focus on a one-call close, okay? The one-call close is super important. Again, we are not selling tech. We are selling the transformation for that business owner. So in terms of a sales call, I have got a video where I break down the one-call close in a lot of detail, but here's just a basic framework, okay? The goal of this is to extract the pain, understand where they are struggling in their business. And 9 times out of 10 is going to be quality of leads. It's not going to be the number of leads. They actually just want conversions, and they want it to be easier for them. They don't want to rely on Checkatrade, Bark, referrals. They want a predictable system that is going to allow them to grow. So again, once we've extracted that pain, we can then go into understanding where they want to be. So where is that prospect currently? Where do they want to be? And we are then going to bridge that gap by showing them how we are going to get them there, which is super important. And we're going to do that with a pitch. We're then going to move on to payment. We're then going to get them onboarded. It's as simple as that. But obviously, there are a lot of steps when it comes to one call closing. I really suggest that you check out my one call closing video where I break down a 20-minute closing script that I've put together and that has generated millions. So we're then going to look at how you can actually deliver like a real agency, okay? And this is another thing that a lot of people get confused on when it comes to running AI lead generation agencies. You need a clear onboarding process. something that you can use that is repeatable, that is not going to take too much of your time. Because if you spend way too much time onboarding different clients for different services, you won't be running an agency, you will be a freelancer, I can almost guarantee. You need list building workflows, you need some AI messaging, you need some daily volume tracking, you need weekly reporting. And these are things that you can build out along with SOPs so that you can actually scale your business. If you don't know what SOPs are, they're standard operating procedures, and that is going to allow you to come away from the business by giving a clear guide. I want you to think about it like HelloFresh. They send you a bunch of ingredients, they give you that sheet where it's like, okay, you've got to make this X, Y, and Z, and you've got all of the ingredients and they tell you step by step how to make an insane meal, okay? So if you don't know what I'm talking about there, it's just basically a recipe, but that is what an SOP is. We're making it so clear so that we can come away from the business. Now, scaling. Let's say you now have an AI agency offer, and just to kind of go back here, right? We're going to be selling predictable pipeline, booked calls, and revenue. Once we have that and we have a good client acquisition system in place, where it's a one-call close, okay? So a VSL funnel and a one-call close, and we have a good onboarding process, we then need to be able to scale. Now, we're only going to scale once the system is working. If we don't have a predictable system, then it is not going to be scalable. One way that we can tell is actually tracking data. So again, I'll do another video in the future about tracking data, but if you don't know your numbers, how can you identify the problems in your business? So how do we scale? First of all, we need to fix bottlenecks, and that comes from that data tracking that I just mentioned. If we've not got a positive return on ad spend for our client acquisition funnel, then there's no point in scaling. We're going to run the business into the ground. Then we're going to increase the volume, which means we have to take those cojones that we've got and scale the ads so that we can get more calls. If you're spending £50 a day on ads right now and you are profitable, then listen to what I just said. You then need to just double it. Okay, until you are not profitable and we have more problems, and then we make it more profitable. Okay, it's as simple as that. We need to take action in terms of scaling. We're then going to add team, whether that's a media buyer, whether that's a setter, whether that's a closer. We're then going to raise the price of our offer. So once we've seen consistent results, we've got testimonials, we feel confident with our process, we're going to either add more packages or we're going to raise the existing price. And then we're going to add another layer of paid traffic. So let's actually have a look at the paid traffic layers that I suggest. Obviously, meta ads, because we're going to be running it for our clients, we should be running it for ourselves because it is predictable, scalable, and actually reliable. So if you're targeting cold audiences and you have a high ticket offer, look at lead magnet campaigns, okay? Because it's going to be a cheaper alternative for you to get more leads in the door, and you can still practice the one call closing. You can start off at £5 to £10 a day. You can get some leads in. It's as simple as that. But if you want to scale aggressively, then I would just go straight to a VSL funnel anyway. If you have a low ticket product as like a tripwire funnel, and I'm not going to go into too much about that, it's like a low ticket ascension funnel, you are going to look at just a conversion campaign. So taking them directly to a landing page where they can purchase something that is very small, tells them a little bit about what you do and how they can do it for themselves, solves a problem, and then we're going to upsell them onto our high ticket offer where it's more of a done with you, done for you. Warm audiences, again, you can still have that low ticket ascension funnel, so it's a conversion campaign, but you also have a high ticket offer, which is strictly a book a call VSL funnel like I showed the one above, where it's essentially going to take them to a landing page, video, type form application, nurturing sequences, one call close, we get cash in. And if it's a hot audience, and this is mainly for people that are probably doing like 40 to 50K a month, right? VSL book a call funnel, but also webinars, right? Webinars work extremely well to your ideal customer profile. So again, you guys should be utilizing that when you start scaling. Now, just one last thing I want to leave you guys on. AI doesn't make you rich. Systems, structure, and predictable acquisition do. So if you see loads of people telling you about the coolest automation and spend 6 months on NAN, and the reason why you're not making money is you do not have a predictable offer and you do not have a predictable system in place to actually scale your AI lead generation agency. If you want me to break down every one of these topics in way more detail, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to do that, and make sure you subscribe for future videos.